Okay, everyone, welcome back to the show. It's nice to have you. It's just a busy day, okay, and so there's no bourbon to show off. I'm just, I'm sticking with the old H2O, which is a good thing that I recommend hydrating your body with. Today, what we're going to talk about is the most honest advice that you will ever get from a real estate agent. Okay, I came up that I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, this is the entire notes for all this week's worth of content. Very little preparation just due to some scheduling conflicts. But I thought of this one today and I'm like, man, I hope people watch this. They probably won't, but I hope that people watch this because I'm going to tell you the most honest advice you will ever get from a real estate agent. And the way that I have to preface this is I did tell a client this recently, right? Because look, any real estate agent, sometimes you're going to be the bearer of good news, and sometimes you're going to be the bearer of bad news, right? So you're constantly in this sort of like good cop, bad cop space where it's like sometimes I get to be a positive force in your life, and the other times you might think I'm being a negative force, but I'm actually trying to help you, right? So one, if you sign agency documents with a realtor, aka they're going to represent you. Really, it's their brokerage that represents you, but the agent, let's be honest, is really the one who's helping you out. They have fiduciary duties, right? Which is like they have to be honest with you and they have to basically do what you ask as long as it doesn't put them in a like illegal situation or something like that. There's these things, right, that we have to do. Honest, trustworthy is part of that. So I always like to remind people, I only get paid if you close on your house, right? It's the only way that I get paid, right? It's a very unique profession because you could do all of the work. You could be talking to someone and this happens, and it's a bummer because it happens often. I could have been talking to you for 6 months and then we got your pre-approval done and then we start looking at houses and eventually we get one under contract and then for whatever reason, whether justified or just you being shitty, you bail out on the deal and it's like, cool, I just did 6 months worth of work with no paycheck attached to it, right? Now, most of you watching this, if you think about this logically, what was the last time that you did your job for the last 6 months and at the end of it, they're like, yeah, you don't get a paycheck for any of that though. You'd be like, well, this is insane. That's not how it works. Well, that's how our job works, right? I only get paid if I help you get what you want, which is you close on a house, whether you're selling it or buying it. It's the only way that I make any money. So the most honest advice that you will ever get, if you get advice that means your agent doesn't get paid, you can take that advice to the bank, if you will. Pardon the cliche there. But you know they're giving you a straight shot. Because why would I tell you to do something if it means I'm not going to get paid from it? And I occasionally have to remind people of this. I'm like, hey, look, I'm telling you to, a couple of examples. I've been in scenarios where it was just some very difficult client of ours and just, it was oil and water. I did not get along with them. They did not get along with me. Sorry, dry throat today, everyone. And it was just one of those clash of personalities. I get along with most people. We just did not get along, right? And we came to a point in the deal where there was just some stuff going on, not so much with the house, but like with the sellers doing some shady stuff and the agent doing some shady stuff and everything. And I was like, look, guys, I'm really advising you, like, you should bail from this property. Now, mind you, I'm voluntarily saying I'm going to give you advice that means I will not make a dime from this. Doesn't stand to reason that's pretty damn honest advice. Whether I'm right or wrong doesn't really matter. You know that it's honest because I'm voluntarily not going to get paid. Another example, we had someone, and I've talked a little bit about this scenario, I think, on a video from last week, but I had some folks that reached out to us, and they were nice, enjoyed the conversation and everything, and they wanted to buy an investment property. And as we started digging in and you just sort of kind of looking at their scenario and everything, ultimately we told them, look, we're going to detach ourselves from this. I really do not recommend that you go forward and try to buy an investment property for a variety of different reasons that don't matter for this. But it was like, we were looking out for their best interest, which was they should not be buying an investment property right now. Okay. They just shouldn't. That's my opinion, but it was based on data, facts, and figures, right? So it was not super subjective. Objectively, I'm telling you, you should not buy an investment property right now. Now, they still wanted to. So that means, like, look, I have an opportunity right now. We can help you go get one. Like we could have helped you piece this thing together. We opted out of that deal. So I voluntarily said, I'm going to not have my company get paid, right? So don't you think that's pretty freaking honest advice if I'm like, I'm going to tell you some shit where I'm not going to make a dime from it? And we put in some time and energy into you. So cool. We just did a bunch of free work and we're not going to make any money from it. It's free, legitimate advice, guys. So, hey, look, there's no point in extending this conversation any further. You get it. If your agent ever tells you something where it's like, hey, you should bail on this property, this inspection, or whatever the case may be, it's bad enough that you really should walk away from this. Or you're looking at a house and you want to put in an offer and your agent's like, look, let me tell you all the reasons you should not put in an offer on this house. They're voluntarily not putting themselves in a position to make any money. Believe the advice, right? We're incentivized to help you get what you want, right? So if we're telling you don't do something, really believe it, okay? I get it. Real estate's kind of a dirtbag industry. It is what it is. But hey, look, there are some good people in that, and they will give you honest advice regardless of how it affects them financially. So, guys, that's it. That's the moral of the story of the day today. As mentioned, we've in basically every video, I gotta keep the lights on somehow. 1911 Syndicate, we are a real estate company. We deal with a lot of vets and hunters and shooters, outdoorsmen, things like that. But truth is, we work with anyone. We don't really care as long as you're cool, as long as you're nice, as long as you're a pleasant human being and reliable. That is good enough for me. I don't really give a shit if you like to shoot guns or shoot elk. Doesn't really matter. If you need real estate help, we can help you out as long as you're a decent human being.